Hi guys, thanks for clicking on the video and welcome back to episode 33 of Men's Grooming Weekly. My name is Elliot Forbes, a barber based in central London, and if this is the first time you're watching any of my videos, this channel is dedicated to hair, beard and grooming tips for the modern man, and also ASMR style shaving and haircuts. On this week's Men's Grooming Weekly, my product of the week is the Buckthorn shaving cream from Mühle. My hair icon is Ian Brown, and I'll be talking about whether you should still be getting haircuts if you're trying to grow your hair out. But first off, my favourite TikTok from the last week or so.
What are you doing? You're literally putting on my hair. Wait, what are you doing?
What did you think I was doing there?
You literally cut out my hair.
I don't.
Mate, you're doing it with a blade. Mate, what are you doing that? Oh my god. What are you doing? How long have you been planning on doing that?
For a while.
What else are you hiding from me? Oh my god. Mate.
What?
Mate.
You don't like it?
I don't know, I can't see it. It's cool, I like it.
Yeah, it's nice. And I did enjoy doing this. She was not expecting that line in the back of her head at all. Kasha's pretty free, pretty open, and she lets me do whatever I want to do on the haircut. We don't tend to do too many consultations. She says, I trust you, you do what you want to do. So I did this, but she wasn't expecting it. But in the end, luckily, she loved it. So all went well, thankfully. And this week's product of the week is the Buckthorn shaving cream from Mühle. Now, I love this because it's super easy to whip up in a bowl. All you need to do is just squirt a little bit into the bowl, use that brush, whip it up, and it turns into a real thick, creamy lather really straight away, actually. Alternatively, it's great, actually, if you just wanted to put it onto the brush, then you can put that brush onto the face, it turns into a lather really quickly. Or thirdly, squirt it out and put it onto your face and it still turns into a lather. So actually it's really quite flexible in terms of how you can apply it to the face. Now traditionally sandalwood is very sort of classic and it's a real sort of manly scent. I actually much prefer sort of the citrusy scent of the Buckthorn. It's a little bit less of a strong scent, and it almost, the scent that it does have, it wakes you up a little bit. It feels really nourishing on the skin. I've never had any irritation after using this when shaving. You don't have to use an awful lot in the bowl. A little bit goes a long way, and it's only about £6 or £7 actually for a tub of this. So actually this is really high quality stuff and a lovely product. Something I would definitely recommend. And this week's hair icon is Ian Brown from the Stone Roses. In at number 5 is this much more of a current look, and I think this is the hair which shows how to age gracefully. It's still got the same classic Ian Brown sort of Stone Roses feel to it. It's really textured in through that front area. Still got a little bit of length in through the sides, but it's done very elegantly. It's very sort of his age. The silhouette is great, and it's just enough texture and just enough that it looks as a bit quirky and something a bit different to it, but it still makes him look his age. In at number 4 is this look. It's got a real undone feel to it. I love how it's got the natural wave, natural sort of almost curl to the back of it, just allowing the natural texture to come out. You can see how it's probably not been washed for a few days. It's got the heaviness and the lankness in through there. I like how it's a little bit longer in through the front in through here, and just allows it to have that natural kick and natural flow with it in through the sides there. In at number 3 is this mid-length textured cut. I love how the fringe is so broken up. Just enough length that it covers over the ears, and then a bit longer in through that back, so it just kinks out and there's a little bit to play around in through here. A haircut that doesn't really require a lot of product, so when a haircut is cut well, it can just sit there and it just looks great like this does. In at number 2 is this look where it's really solid in through the front. I really like how it's sort of, you can change it up between going textured and between solid at the front. This one feels much more like a mullet. You can see how it is really long and extended in through that back area. All that texture can come out, and it sits then a bit shorter in through the sides, but still enough that he's got a little bit to play with, and still feels very sort of Ian Brown and grungy to it. And in at number 1 is this real young look from Ian Brown. Something from when the Stone Roses first came about. It's got some real thick hair, some real volume, real body to it. It's been pushed up against the roots, so it sits out with that nice shape to it. Slightly shorter in through the front, then just gets longer into the edges. I like the proportions of this because it is a little bit tighter in through that back area and keeps all the length and fullness in through here. And for me, this is just a brilliant look, and it just inspired so many young kids. Perfect for on the rave scene, something just to mess around with, and yeah, can just look great. And today's question is, if I'm growing my hair, shall I keep getting haircuts? The short answer to that is yes. Although you're trying to grow your hair out, it's still going to go through a lot of awkward phases. Those awkward phases can be made a lot easier if you get regular trims by someone that really knows what they're doing. If you just go to someone and they just take it all shorter, in the hope that it then grows out, that's no good. You need it to be refined in certain areas and take weight out of certain areas so that it then can allow it to sit better. A big problem for a lot of guys if they're trying to grow it out is that it gets very thick, very heavy in through the back. That then means when they're trying to push this area back, what you'll find is actually the sides sit super wide because actually there's nowhere for it to sit. As soon as you sort of take this in a little bit tighter at that back area, that can then flow back into it because there's a space now for it to sit. You're probably going to need extra texturizing working through the sides and extra texturizing in through that top area. area, depending on what the look you're going for. Say if you're trying to push it all back, if you're trying to push it back and it's grown out from, say, the length that I've got, all of a sudden this is going to be super heavy in through the top here. So actually the shape needs to be adjusted so that this can flow back a bit easier as well. Yes, you do need haircuts whilst you're growing the hair out, but it needs to be done by someone that really knows the journey of where you're trying to get to. And that way you can then create a plan, you can stick to it, and then you can sort of hopefully get there in an easiest way as possible. So first off, I would say do a little bit of research, see someone that knows how to do longer haircuts, because not every barber does know how to do that. Go and see them, try and create a plan, and then get the haircuts done regularly and frequently so that it's then always kept in check. Okay guys, thanks a lot for watching today. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to drop a comment down below. If there are any products you'd like to see, or if there's anything you'd like to see me reviewing, or any videos you'd like me to do specifically, I'd be more than happy to hear what you've got to say. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a brilliant rest of your day. Much love, Elliot.